being valid to me.
Yeah. I say go live. We are live. It says we are live. Should we say go live?
Good morning, can I be heard? Just please let me know that I can be heard. Okay, good morning. Today we are going to talk about sustainable development, and sustainable development as a topic is very vast in scope. I've tried to summarize it as much as possible. Two things which I want you to keep in mind while we go through it. One is the concept. So when I talk about the concept, don't get misled. आप ज़्यादा परेशान मत होइएगा क्योंकि टॉपिक बहुत बड़ा है, इसलिए हम लोग उसको धीमे धीमे पढ़ने की कोशिश करेंगे, बट एट द सेम टाइम जो चीज़ें इम्पॉर्टेंट नहीं हैं उसको हम अपने स्कोप ऑफ वर्क में से निकाल देंगे. So for the first time we are going to talk about what is development. So when we talk of development, development is an evolutionary process in which human capacity increases. So first and foremost, the concept of development is an evolutionary process. हर चीज़ develop होती है, whether it is biological, whether it is psychological, whether it is sociological. तो biologically आप प्रोटोजोआ से invertebrates, invertebrates से vertebrates, vertebrates से primates आप बन गए. Sociological systems आप देखिए तो man was a hunter, from hunter he became a food gatherer, और food gatherer से वो फिर family में चला गया. And if you look at yourself psychologically, so psychologically first our language used to be restricted to sounds, and then from sounds language development came, and from language development today we are talking only in terms of technology. So I am virtually meeting you, I am virtually able to teach you because of this process of development. So development is an evolutionary process in which the human capacity increases. So development is a positive connotation word where we are progressing, moving forward. So it's a concept of growth. तो ये evolutionary process हमको कहाँ कहाँ देखने को मिलता है? Evolutionary process is in terms of new structures, new coping mechanisms. Coping mechanisms मतलब किसी भी problem को deal करने की जो हमारी उपलब्धि होती है, and adopting to continuous change while creatively progressing to attain new goals. So development always has a goal, an end result. So during the process of development, we develop new structures, we develop new coping mechanisms, and we develop certain purposes to attain a definite goal. So first thing about development is that it is an evolutionary process. It helps in the growth of human capacity. This growth of human capacity can be seen in terms of new structures, new coping mechanisms, and our efforts to reach a particular goal. So one thing is for sure, that development is a multi-dimensional concept and a multi-dimensional process involving social structures, our attitudes, economic growth, reduction of inequalities, and eradication of poverty. तो हम कब कहते हैं कि development is taking place? When do we say that there is development taking place in a society? society. When the society progresses economically, so less people below the poverty line, where there is sufficiency of food, where people are able to converse and reach out to each other, where there is peace, and to sum it all, the quality of life is better. So, having said that, we will now move on to the various theories of development. I want to tell all the students this is a background for the concept of development. इसमें आपके एग्जाम में कुछ नहीं आएगा, बट आपके जनरल नॉलेज के लिए इम्पॉर्टेंट है. So the first and foremost thing is, first theory under which development was focused upon is called the theory of modernization. अब modernization की theory में क्या कहते हैं? एक set of traditional societies है. They are a set of traditional societies and they are a set of modern societies. तो traditional societies कौन सी हैं? जिनके belief systems और structures पुराने हैं. So if you had a joint family system, if you believed in tattoos and taboos, if you believed in sacred groves, you are said to be a traditional society. And modern societies are those where there is heavy emphasis on infrastructure development or more or less capitalism. तो इसके तहत under the modernization theory, when we talk of modernization or the modernization theory, development is moving from traditional societies to a modern society where there is a great deal of emphasis on accumulation of wealth and developing a system of what is called a capitalistic economy. The second kind of theory which has dealt with development is called the world systems theory. अब वर्ल्ड सिस्टम्स थ्योरी में एक वर्ल्ड है जो डेवलप्ड है, जिसको हम कोर कंट्रीज कहते हैं, और एक जिनको हम डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज कहते हैं. दिस ऑल्सो केम अ वेरी लेट. अर्लियर वी वर कॉल्ड अंडर डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज. So I'm saying we because India is an underdeveloped country or a developing economy, like we now choose to say it. But in terms of the world systems theory, the world is divided into core developed countries and periphery developing countries. And the periphery developing countries are giving their resources to the developed countries just for the mere purpose of survival. तो आपको यहाँ पे कहीं कहीं दादा भाई नारोजी की जो ड्रेन थ्योरी है वो आएगी कि दैट यू नो द वेल्थ फ्रॉम द डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज is draining into the developed nations, but because of the lopsided power play that we have in the present world setup, the developing countries are not able to come up on their own. And of course there are certain other issues which are needed, and when we talk about sustainable goals we will be going into them in great detail. For you it is to suffice is that the countries on the periphery or the developing countries are losing out to the developed countries because there is a drain of resources or a drain of wealth. Then we come to the theory of globalization. अब जो ये globalization theory है वो क्या कह रही है? वो कह रही है कि there are global mechanisms available in the world by which there is a deeper integration of the economic world order, or that the economies of the world are integrated together because of certain global mechanisms. Not only that, the global world theory speaks of cultural linkages which are there between countries. So the global world theory propagates that we exist like one global family in which there are interlinkages both in economic terms as well as in cultural terms, and this is possible because of the role of various kinds of technology that is available with us these days. So because of technological mechanisms and existing structures which we are developing, we are moving towards a certain global world order which speaks of homogenization. So what is the global world theory say? Global world theory is saying that we are one world. So ये जो one world का concept है, इसी से आपका concept of sustainable development आता है. That was the reason to give you this background. Now with this background we can move forward. So Malthus way back said कि जो world की population है वो geometrically बढ़ती है. Whereas the other mechanisms, the other sustainability factors grow arithmetically. तो जैसे पेड़, जब एक पेड़ कटता है और दूसरा पेड़ उगता है तो 1+1 ही होता है. Whereas for in terms of population, one person can produce 8 kids or 12 kids depending upon what is the reproductive cycle of that person. So when we speak about sustainable development, we are going to be talking in terms of resources and we are going to be talking in terms of need. So Malthus की थ्योरी को आप अपने दिमाग में रखिए कि जब पॉपुलेशन ज्योमेट्रिकली बढ़ रही है और हमारी सस्टेनेबिलिटी या हमारे जो सबसिस्टेंस की एनवायरनमेंट है वो अर्थमेटिकली ग्रो करती है, तो इन दोनों के तात्पर्य से क्या निकल के आता है, that one is going to exceed the other. That means the population is going to outstrip whatever the environment has given to us. Having said that, let us now see the whole concept of sustainable development and from where it grew. So sustainable development is a mechanism through which society can interact with the environment while not risking or damaging the resource for the future. So sustainable development is a mechanism for development. It is a kind of development. So sustainable development is a mechanism for development through which a society can interact with the environment while not risking or damaging the resources of the future. तो आप इस प्रकार का डेवलपमेंट करते हैं कि जो आपके रिसोर्सेज है वो सिर्फ आप ही नहीं इस्तेमाल कर सकते, आपके आने वाली जनरेशन भी इसको इस्तेमाल करेगी. इसके सेंट्रल टू सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट क्या है? सेंट्रल टू इट इज दैट वी नीड टू कंट्रोल environmental pollution, we need to control factors like climate change, we need to control factors like biodiversity and improve our ecosystems through the process of maintaining forest. तो अभी तक आपको जो जो टॉपिक्स एनवायरनमेंट में पढ़ाया जा रहा है वो सारे टॉपिक्स सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट में आते हैं. दैट इज व्हाई it is considered to be a core concept. It is the central concept of all policies and all concepts in environment. That is the concept of sustainable development. So sustainable development is a mechanism of development through which we use resources in such a manner that not only will it be benefit to us but also for the benefit of the future generation. Central to the concept of sustainable development is that we are in a symbiotic relationship with our environment. So we are in a symbiotic relationship with the environment. जब हम सिम्बियोटिक रिलेशनशिप विद द एनवायरनमेंट में होते हैं तो अगर ये मैन है और ये आपका एनवायरनमेंट है तो इट शुड बी अ टू-वे प्रोसेस, both this way and that. So here is man and here is the environment and they both have to be in a give and take relationship. इसलिए आपको ऐसे फैक्टर्स जो एनवायरनमेंट को हार्म करते हैं like environmental pollution, like climate change, like reduction in biodiversity, like deforestation have to be controlled if we want to maintain a sustainable development. अब इसके principles क्या हैं? The principles of sustainable development. The principles of sustainable development. आप हाफ फॉर्म को समझिएगा बिकॉज आई एम नॉट एबल टू राइट फुल एंड देयर वुडंट बी एनी टाइम. सो यहाँ पे मैं एसडी लिख रही हूँ. सबसे पहला प्रिंसिपल ऑफ सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट है कंजर्वेशन ऑफ द इकोसिस्टम. कंजर्वेशन ऑफ द इकोसिस्टम. आपका क्वेश्चन प्रीलिम्स में क्या आएगा कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के प्रिंसिपल्स क्या है, और वो आपको 5-6 चीज पूछेंगे जो ABCD के ऑप्शन है उसमें एक ही ऑप्शन हो सकता है. इसलिए इस पार्ट से नाउ वी हैव स्टार्टेड द इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट. नाउ द क्वेश्चंस आर गोइंग टू फ्लो फ्रॉम द रेस्ट ऑफ द क्लास. द फर्स्ट पार्ट वाज अ बैकग्राउंड and you can use that for your notes whatever, but this is now the starting point of the class. So conservation of ecosystems फिर है population control and management. Population control and management. Okay, then you have what is called proper human resource management. Proper human resource and management. Then you have what is called participatory approach and collective responsibility. Participatory approach and collective responsibility. Then you have what is called the progressive social traditions and culture. You have what is called progressive social traditions and culture. So I'll read out to you what are the principles of sustainable development. First is the conservation of the ecosystem, then population control and management, proper human resource management, participatory approach and collective responsibility, and progressive social traditions and culture. Having said that, we should now go into the various committees and summits which took place for sustainable development. अब इसमें आपको मैं पहले पूरा सारे बता दूंगी कि कब कब समिट हुए और उसमें क्या क्या हुआ, and then we'll put a small synopsis for you so that you're not at all confused. I have tried to make it as small as possible because you don't need the details for it. The details are required not even in your mains. Mains में भी जो तुम्हारा आपका current चलेगा वही most probably आएगा. But if they give you the order in which the various sustainable development summits have happened, you should not get confused. So first and foremost, there was a UN conference on human environment. UN conference on human environment, which was held in Stockholm, where it was said that development and environment need to be addressed together and are concepts which are not exclusive to each other. So first let me tell you, the concept of sustainable development was thought of in the conference of UN on human environment, but in 1972. But at that point of time, the concept per se was not used. So 1972, the concept of sustainable development had come in terms of the UN conference, and in the UN conference in Stockholm, it was said that human development and environment are not exclusive of each other. बस इतनी सी बात कही गई थी. कहा गया कि जो ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट और एनवायरनमेंट है दोनों को अलग अलग एंटिटी ना मान के ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट एंड एनवायरनमेंट शुड बी थॉट ऑफ इन अ symbiotic relationship, which is the core concept of sustainable development, and that is why it is said that this is from where it started. So as a policy, the UN conference on environment in Stockholm in 1972 said that we need to address development and environment together, and both are not mutually exclusive to each other. अब जब हमारा कॉन्सेप्ट सबसे पहले यूज हुआ वो था वर्ल्ड कमीशन ऑफ एनवायरमेंट, वर्ल्ड कमीशन ऑफ एनवायरमेंट एंड डेवलपमेंट, World Commission of Environment and Development, which was chaired by Gro Harlem. Gro Harlem of the Brundtland Report. Brundtland of Norway. And Gro Harlem, G-R-O-H-A-L-E-M, Gro Harlem of the Brundtland of Norway submitted a report in 1987, and this is known as the Brundtland Report. And what is it called? It is called Our Common Future. What is it called? It's called Our Common Future. 1987 was the first time that we used the concept of sustainable development, and this was used by Gro Harlem in the Brundtland's report of Our Common Future. अब यहाँ तक आपको बता दिया गया कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट कहाँ से आया और हमने इसको किस तरह से इस्तेमाल करना शुरू किया. Now after this we need to understand how has the concept grown. तो इसके लिए first and foremost, what did he say in his definition of sustainable development? He said that sustainable development is that development that meets the need of the current generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So according to Our Common Future, the definition of sustainable development was given as development that meets the need of the current generation, development that meets the need of the current generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Development that meets the need of current generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So central to this concept is the concept of needs. इस definition के बाद सबसे central क्या आता है? Concept of needs. And when we talk of needs, we will talk particularly of the poor. The concept is of the needs of the poor. Then second is the idea of limitation. Idea of limitations. इस definition के according sustainable development के दो core चीजें हैं जिसको देखनी है. First is the concept of needs, particularly those of the poor, and the second is idea of limitations, which will be imposed by the state of technology, the social organization, and most importantly, the environment's ability to meet present and future needs. So first is the concept of needs, and the second is the idea of limitations. आपका डेवलपमेंट हर समय लिमिटेड रहेगा. जिस कंडीशन में आपकी टेक्नोलॉजी रहेगी, जिस कंडीशन में आपके सोशल स्ट्रक्चर्स रहेंगे, एंड मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली द एबिलिटी ऑफ द एनवायरनमेंट टू सस्टेन योर नीड्स as well as the needs for the future. So this is the two central concepts which came out of our world conference जो Gro Harlem की थी, जिसमें he talks about sustainable development, and this he said in 1987, and in that Our Common Future, he had said in Common Future, उसमें उसने जो definition दी, उस definition के हिसाब से we have the concept of needs, idea of limitations, he says in Our Common Future in the Brundtland Report, and the concept of needs is particularly for those of the poor, and there is an idea of limitation. तो सबसे पहली बार there was a union conference, UNO conference, United Nations भी कह सकते हैं आप, UN conference on environment in Stockholm in 1972, where it was said that man and environment need to be seen together. Following that, in 1987, there is what is called the Brundtland Report by Joe Harlem, in the report which says our common future, where he defines sustainable development and says that there are two factors which come to the forefront. One is the concept of our needs, particularly those of the poor, and second, the concept of limitation, because development will always be within a parameter or within a framework of what is that at that point of time, the technologies that we have, the social structures that we have, and how much of resources from the environment can be used in such a manner that they can fulfill our needs as well as the needs of the future. So that is why he defined development that meets the needs of the current generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. After this, we had what is called the Great Rio Summit, which is also called the Earth Summit of 1992. तो आपका हो गया 1987 ब्रून्सलैंड रिपोर्ट, उसके पहले आपके पास हो गया वर्ल्ड कमीशन ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट एंड डेवलपमेंट 1972 इन स्टॉकहोम. तो 1972 स्टॉकहोम हो गया, 1987 आपकी ब्रून्सलैंड रिपोर्ट हो गई, एंड नाउ वी आर कमिंग टू व्हाट इज कॉल्ड द रियो समिट. रियो की में बहुत सारी समिट्स हुई हैं. Almost all summits of sustainable development have taken place in Rio, and so we will keep going back to Rio. So just remember the year in which what was said. तो अभी हम सबसे पहले 1992 की बात करें. The Rio Summit of 1992. ये कौन सी है? ये United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNCED. Now the important part starts here. The United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, it's also called the Earth Summit. If anybody can recall, it was at the Earth Summit. What did Indira Gandhi say which was very controversial in times to come? She had said that can the poor afford conservation of nature? So she had said that can poor afford a clean environment, and that is why she was spoken of as though, you know, she was trying to say that poverty limits your ability to conserve, which is where she was absolutely right. But what she wanted to say is that how can the poor afford to conserve the environment? Because when you are poor, you don't think whether you are cutting a tree, whether you are uprooting a plant, whether you are using the pathways for going to the toilet. You're not concerned about that. You are working at a very basic level. What is that basic level? Just fulfillment of your need. And what is your need? अगर आप animal level पे चाहिए तो you need to only eat and defecate and sleep. And that is why it said that as we progress and as we develop, our needs increase multifold and our requirements become much more than what they are. Okay, forget the philosophical part of it. Just wanted to tell you that long time back in 1992 in the Earth Summit, Mrs. Indira Gandhi had mentioned that can the poor afford to conserve the environment, and it had led to a whole lot of debate. For our purposes, 1992 Earth Summit, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and here the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development took place. And what did it say? It said it led to the culmination of three things. First, it was the declaration which is called the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development. Environment and Development. अगर आप इसको पढ़ेंगे तो it runs into lots of pages. I've tried to summarize it so that you get the concept and you know how to answer. So the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development, or the Earth Summit, had the following documents. First is the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development, and second was Agenda 21. ये सारे concepts आप सुनते रहेंगे, but you need to know कि where to place it. Okay, so this is Agenda 21. Suppose somebody can't read my 21. So Agenda 21, and the third is your Forest Principles. What is it called? Forest Principles. हम हर के बारे में आपको सिर्फ जितना जरूरी है उतना बताएंगे, but this runs into several pages. So in the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development, there was a paper, a declaration on environment and development. There was Agenda 21, and the third document which they made was Forest Principles. अब जो आपका पहला है, the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development had 27 principles. Now you don't need to know these 27 principles because they keep appearing in new forms in different documents. So it's the same tomato soup with lot of cheese and lot of toppings. तो वो फर्क होता जा रहा है, but the idea remains central. I don't want to burden you with these 27 principles क्योंकि आपको आगे और सारे principles जो important है वो याद करने हैं, तो this is not important. So what was there? The crux of those 27 principles included the role of humans, the state of sovereignty, environmental protection and eradication of poverty. Some things which have remained universally across all these summits, across all the summits of sustainable development will be summarized at the end. Just remind me to do that. But it always has things like poverty, so can you hear me? Can I be heard? Okay, so I don't know what happened, but something happened anyways. So we were here and I was telling you that there were 3 things which were said here. So those 27 principles are not important. What is important is that all through the summits, there are 4-5 things which keep coming up. One is, of course, your concept of poverty. One is education. One is clean water and sanitation. One is empowerment of those below the poverty line, and also of women especially, and something to do with world peace. None of the things which are happening, but it's claimed that it is happening. तो ये 27 principles जो थे वो पहले रियो डिक्लेरेशन के on development and environment का हिस्सा बने. The second part was Agenda 21. Agenda 21 defines the roles of government, international organizations, industry and community to achieve sustainability and socio-economic parameters like poverty, better environment, development integration and social policies. So the first is your Declaration on Environment and Development. It talks about 27 principles which we need to achieve. The second is your Agenda 21, which talks of roles of government, international organizations, industries, communities to achieve sustainability. अब ये जो Agenda 21 है ये 4 sections में divided है. तो ये हो गया आपका with 27 principles. और ये आपका एजेंडा है, ये आपको बताता है what you need to talk about. You need to talk about Agenda 21 which is divided into 4 sections. What are the 4 sections that it talks of? Agenda 21 defines the role of governments, of private organizations, developmental groups to attain the concept of sustainable development. और ये 4 sections में divided है. इसके 4 sections कौन कौन से हैं? एक है सोशियो इकोनॉमिक डायमेंशन, which includes the concept of poverty and all. दूसरा है conservation and management of resources for development. So Agenda 21 talks about the role of government, of private organizations, industries, and how they should be coming together to implement the principles of the Rio Summit. And in that process, it is divided into 4 sections, which talks of the socio-economic dimension, then conservation and management of resources for development, then strengthening the role of major groups. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Strengthening the role of major groups. The role of major groups. And then means of implementation. तो अभी तक मैंने आपको क्या बताया कि जो सबसे पहले 1972 स्टॉकहोम की समिट हुई यूएन की एनवायरनमेंट एंड डेवलपमेंट पे, जहाँ पे कहा गया कि आदमी और उसका पर्यावरण दोनों अलग अलग चीज़ें नहीं है और हमें उनके बारे में साथ में बात करनी चाहिए. फिर आर कॉमन फ्यूचर जो हालेम 1987 says what is sustainable development, and then we have the Brundtland report, and then 1992 we are in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where they have had a conference which is called the United Nations Conference for Environment and Development, जिसके 3 हिस्से बने. एक का रायो पेपर्स ऑन डेवलपमेंट, ऑन एनवायरनमेंट एंड डेवलपमेंट, एक एजेंडा 21 बना और एक फॉरेस्ट प्रिंसिपल्स बने. तो जो रायो समिट का एजेंडा था फॉर इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट एंड एनवायरनमेंट, इट रैन इनटू 27 प्रिंसिपल्स. जो सेकेंड है एजेंडा 21, इट टॉक्स अबाउट द रोल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, प्राइवेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, इंडस्ट्रीज एंड हाउ दे कैन गो अबाउट टू ब्रिंग अबाउट सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट. इसके तहत इन्होंने पूरी डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस को 4 हिस्सों में बांटा है. एक फर्स्ट है द सोशो इकोनॉमिक डायमेंशन, दूसरा है कंजर्वेशन एंड मैनेजमेंट ऑफ रिसोर्सेज फॉर डेवलपमेंट, तीसरा है स्ट्रेंथनिंग द रोल ऑफ मेजर ग्रुप्स, और चौथा है मीन्स ऑफ इम्प्लीमेंटेशन. आई होप कि अभी तक किसी चीज़ में कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है. नाउ वी गो टू द थर्ड पार्ट ऑफ 1992 विच इज़ योर फॉरेस्ट प्रिंसिपल्स. फॉरेस्ट प्रिंसिपल्स में मैं ज़्यादा आपको बताने का कुछ ज़रूरत नहीं समझती हूँ, बट because it's a part we have to talk about it. It talks about management, conservation and sustainable development of forest, but most important part of it was the Montreal process. It set into motion what is called the Montreal process. This Montreal process of 1994, ये किसके बारे में बात करता है? It talks about the criteria and indications for conservation of temperate and boreal forest. Temperate and boreal forest. Temperate तो आपको ये हो गए, and boreal forest. बस इसको आपको इसके बारे में बस इतने ही जानने की ज़रूरत है और कुछ जानने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. So 1992 Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the first Earth Summit which talks about 27 principles for economic development and conservation of environment. It talks about Agenda 21, which is divided into 4 sections. Agenda 21 deals with the role of government, private bodies, institutions, people, and how to bring about sustainable development. And then there are the forest principles, and forest principles where they talk about how to conserve forests and manage them for the purpose of sustainable development. And along with that, it started the Montreal process, which is conservation and development of temperate and boreal forests. Period. This is 1992 over now. Now we are going to go to another part, which is again according to me very, very important, which is called the WSSD. अब हम आ गए 2002 में, पर 2002 में आने से पहले, क्योंकि ये पहले मेंशन हो जाता है इसलिए वी लूज ट्रैक ऑफ द रिकॉर्ड, बट 2002 के पहले देयर इज समथिंग इन द ईयर 2000 which is called your Millennium Development Goals. Millennium Development Goals. ये 2000 में हुए, क्योंकि इनका जिक्र 2002 में आता है, इसलिए इनके बारे में भी आपको जानना जरूरी है. तो keep in mind that in September 2000 there was a conference in New York in the headquarters of United Nations, and in fact it is said that the Millennium Development Goals, which is called the MDG, the Millennium Development Goals were made in the basement of the United Nations headquarters in New York. So this, in September 2000, hurriedly all the developed countries of the world had met, and the OECD countries, and OECD countries kya hai, I will be telling you. The OECD countries suddenly decided that they needed some kind of goals which sustainable development should achieve over a period of time. So they took 2015 as a cutoff date for which to meet the needs, and they called it a decades development because जो बेस एरिया इन्होंने अपने स्टैटिस्टिक्स को वर्कआउट करने के लिए लिया था वो 1990 के पैरामीटर्स पे लिया था. So suppose what is the state of poverty in 1990 for India or for Pakistan or for Bangladesh. So on the basis of the data which they collected in 1990, they went to make the Millennium Development Goals in New York in the year 2000. और MDG का जिक्र वो बार बार आता है, बट उसको एम्फसाइज ये नहीं करते कि ये इन्होंने पहले कर दिया. अब ये 1992 के बाद सीधे 2002 पे जंप करते हैं. बट प्लीज रिमेंबर, बिकॉज टाइम एंड अगेन MDG and SDG are compared, so you should know this in your mind that before the 2002 again the Earth Summit which happened in Johannesburg, which we will shortly be talking of, there was a Millennium Development Goal Committee meet of the UN in New York where they devised what is called the Millennium Development Goals. अब जो ये World Summit हुई 2002 में, this was in Johannesburg, and they decided that they should take a 10-year assessment. क्योंकि पहले वाली आपकी Earth Summit जो रियो में हुई थी वो 1992 में हुई, और जो सेकेंड अब हो रही है वो जोहानिसबर्ग में हुई in 2002. So they want to summarize that in this decade, in this 10-year period, what all had they achieved. So to work out what all they had achieved, they had a hurried summit in 2000 in New York where they decided on the Millennium Development Goals. Now what are the Millennium Development Goals? Millennium Development Goals आपका है, one by one I want to refer to you, and there are 8 Millennium Development Goals. ये जो आपके 8 goals हैं वो क्या क्या इंक्लूड करते हैं? First is to eradicate poverty. Eradicate poverty. Okay? Then Second is universal primary education. Universal primary education. Third है आपका gender equality. And we are so equal. This they have spoken of in 2000 and we are running in 2021. What you called of a decade, it is now 2 decades of equality. So promote gender equality and to empower women. And we are so empowered. And empower women. I need to ask the girls in these class that is it safe to move around in the campus of Allahabad University or is it still the same? I don't know. Would be visiting the university after a very long time to see that. This time I'll come and I'll see how much we've got empowered. Anyways, to cut the long story short, to promote gender equality and empower women, then to reduce child mortality. Reduce child mortality. Reduce child mortality. Then to improve maternal health. Improve maternal health. Then to combat HIV, AIDS and other diseases. Then ensure environmental sustainability. Ensure environmental sustainability, and 8 is global partnership. Global partnership. ये 8 points आपको बताए. This time I've written it. I'm not going to write it again. The next is 17 points of SDGs. तो मैंने उसमें जो अपनी मिलेनियम रिपोर्ट है वही आपको दे दी है ताकि उसके पैरामीटर्स आर इजियर टू फॉर मी टू राइट एंड यू टू रिकॉल. दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट बिकॉज दे वर 8 पैरामीटर्स. तो आप आसानी से कीवर्ड याद कर लीजिए. पॉवर्टी, एजुकेशन, एम्पावरमेंट ऑफ विमेन, चाइल्ड मोर्टैलिटी, मैटरनल हेल्थ, communicable diseases. अब HIV AIDS की जगह you will be writing coronavirus. Then to ensure environmental sustainability सबसे important है. और global partnership मतलब सारे देश मिल करके किसी भी तरह से इस प्रक्रिया में साथ में जुड़ के काम करें. But the Millennium Goals which were established in 2000 came under a whole lot of criticism because it was said that it was the OECDs or the developed nations which were kind of imposing on the underdeveloped countries this kind of a paradigm which was really not required, and there was no participation in deciding about the goals which the world has to work together for sustainable development. But when a stock taking was done or when the whole process was reviewed, it found that जो ये 2000 में मिलेनियम गोल्स सेटअप किए गए और हम जब 2015 में इसके रिव्यू की बात करेंगे, then we will tell you that actually the world was moving towards all these parameters, so there was nothing new in it, but we decided to add more parameters to it and then come into what are called the SDGs, which is the Sustainable Development Goals. तो जब 2002 में जोहानिसबर्ग में फिर से 10 साल बाद अर्थ समिट हुई तो ये डिसाइड किया गया कि ये मिलेनियम डेवलपमेंट गोल्स, 1992 का एजेंडा 21 फॉरेस्ट प्रिंसिपल्स और रायो की 27 प्रिंसिपल्स, हम सब मिला के one is not exclusive of the other. They were taken like a continuum of sustainable development. तो आप भी इसको इसी तरह से लीजिए. And now we come to the 2012 Rio Summit, which is also called Rio Plus 20 or Rio Plus 20, आप जो उसको कहना चाहिए. इसमें आप देख लीजिए, पहला पॉवर्टी है, दूसरा प्राइमरी एजुकेशन है, थर्ड इज जेंडर इक्वालिटी, फोर्थ इज चाइल्ड मोर्टैलिटी रेट्स, देन फिफ्थ इज मैटरनल हेल्थ ऑफ द मदर, सिक्स्थ इज कम्युनिकेबल डिजीजेस, Seventh is environmental sustainability, and eighth is global partnership. Okay, so now we are going to talk of Rio plus 20, and we have reached 2012. Okay, so in 2012 we are going to talk about the SDGs, the Millennium MDGs के बारे में बोला गया कि हम जो मिलेनियम डेवलपमेंट गोल्स कर रहे थे प्लस एजेंडा 21 प्लस जोहानिसबर्ग, सबको मिला करके हम 2012 में एक खिचड़ी पकाते हैं. अब इस खिचड़ी पकने के बाद क्या डिसाइड होता है? इस खिचड़ी पकने के बाद ये डिसाइड होता है कि जो मिलेनियम डेवलपमेंट गोल्स हैं उसको हम 2015 में रिव्यू करेंगे, बिकॉज वी हैव गिवन 2 decades or 25 years for the development of the whole thing. So though we started off in 1992, from 1992 to 2002, and the Millennium Development Goals were made in 2000, then from 2002 to 2012 we have another Rio Summit where they say that Agenda 21, Johannesburg Summit and the Millennium Development Goals are going to be reviewed in 2015, and when we renew it, what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about 2 themes. जब 2012 में कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई तो इस समय 2 themes were of prime importance. One was the green economy and the second was an institutional framework for sustainable development. So when they met in 2012, it was decided that they will take into consideration the Millennium Development Goals, Agenda 21 and the Johannesburg Summit, whatever they had done. So plus according to this they talked about what is called the green economy. मतलब टेक अवे पॉइंट्स इसके सिर्फ यही थे, ग्रीन इकोनॉमी 1 and 2, a framework for what? A framework for the institutional development of SD. Framework for institutional development of SD, which is sustainable development. तो इसके तहत what they wanted to do कि जो यूनाइटेड नेशंस का एनवायरमेंट प्रोग्राम है वो they felt they need to strengthen. So the giveaway from the summit which was held in Rio, which is called Rio plus 20 in 2012, was a continuation of the Agenda 21 Johannesburg Summit plus Millennium Development Goals, which will be reviewed in 2015. Along with that, they emphasize 2 things. One is the green economy. A green economy क्या है? This I will talk to you in detail a little later. Plus, a green economy, and they wanted to provide an institutional framework under which sustainable development will take place. I go back again to you to revise what I have told you. 1972 Stockholm United Nations Conference on Development and Environment, where they said man and environment are not exclusive. They have to be taken together. Second, 1987 Our Common Future Brundtland's report, where Joe Harlem says sustainable development, if it needs to take place, we need to take care of our needs and those of the future, and the concept of needs and limitations came into being in 1987. The first Rio Earth Summit 1992, where they talked about first 27 principles that we need to achieve, second Agenda 21, third forest principles. Then again a summit in 2000 in New York, where they developed the Millennium Development Goals, which are 8 in points, where we talked about poverty, education, child mortality, maternal health, communicable diseases, a framework for environmental sustainability and global partnership. After 1992, we come straight to 2002. In 2002, in Johannesburg, there was a summit which was a continuation of MDGs, which is your Millennium Development Goals, and Agenda 21. 2012, we are back to Rio plus 20. This Earth Summit, it's said that we have to talk now in terms of Agenda 21, Johannesburg Summit, Millennium Development Goals, plus green economy and an institutional framework from where we will take on sustainable development. They also thought to strengthen the United Nations Environment Program. So far so good? Is everybody with me? Okay, from here we now jump to SDGs, and this was my major target, that I should be able to do the Millennium Development Goals and your Sustainable Development Goals on the same day, because otherwise you will tend to forget. So your Millennium Development Goals were to be there till 2015. A 15-year period was given to them. And in 2015, there was again another conference in New York which has talked about Sustainable Development Goals. And this is from where the kids who are taking the prelim exams are going to start thinking what can come in their scope. So this was the background that we started with, and now we come to the 2015, what is again in New York, and we are talking of something which is called the Sustainable Developmental Goals. So जो SDGs हैं आपके, ये आज तक from 2015 onwards till date, till 2021, and the report on SDGs has just come on June 4th. Professor Shacks has presented this report. It has come on June 2021, and we need to take a look at the Sustainable Development Goals report, which we will be doing shortly. अब Sustainable Development Goals हमारे क्या हो गए 2015 में? It was decided that we are going to have 17 goals. It was decided that we are going to have 17 goals. अब 17 goals के पैरामीटर मैं आपको बताती जाऊंगी, but इसमें it was said that there should be something like a concept of smart cities. There should be a reduction in inequality. Climate change should be controlled, and that people should enjoy peace by 2030. तो अब सारे agenda after 2015 have been set for 2030. The goal of SDGs will be reviewed in 2030, and we are talking first of world peace. By 2030, magically we will be able to complete all those 17 parameters, and along with those 17 parameters, there will be world peace. That is what they are talking about. So they have talked of 5 P's. The agenda for 2030 talks of 5 P's. What are the 5 P's that they talk of? They talk of the 5 P's that they talk of are people. They talk of people. They talk of planet, which is your Mother Earth. They talk of prosperity. They talk of prosperity, and they talk of peace, and they talk of partnership. So 2030 के agenda में they are going to talk of people, they are going to talk of planet Earth, they are going to talk of prosperity, of peace and partnership. It's like a magical, it is a utopian concept, but this is what they talk of in the agenda of 2030. The 5 P's are important: people, planet, partnership, prosperity and world peace. All five are important. If they're going to ask you to write an essay, which often comes from the paper on environment, then you need to put in all these things. For people who are taking the prelims, you should know what are the 5 P's. Having said that, the most important thing about this summit was it talked about partnership of the government, of the research people, and also of the civil society organizations. It said that the sustainable developmental goals जो भी है वो एक एक्सक्लूसिव नहीं है कि आप सिर्फ एक प्रोग्राम लॉन्च करेंगे और पॉवर्टी खत्म करेंगे, आप एक प्रोग्राम लॉन्च करेंगे और चाइल्ड मोर्टालिटी खत्म करेंगे. आपको एक पार्टनरशिप चाहिए जिसमें कि ऑल पीपल विल बी इन्वॉल्व. So they will be the state government and the central government. Along with that will be your civil society groups, जिनको आप NGO का फॉर्म दे सकते हैं, आप पीपल्स मूवमेंट का फॉर्म दे सकते हैं, and along with that will be your corporate world. But the concept of corporate social responsibility has come post 2015, when it was said that all these people groups will be supported and aided by the UN, and that even the private sector needs to shoulder responsibility and do their bit to remove poverty, to bring in education to the people, to bring in clean water and sanitation to the people. So this concept now became inclusive of society as a whole. पहले क्या कह रहे थे कि सिर्फ सरकार ही सारी चीजें करेगी. अब 2015 में उन्होंने कहा कि ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ सरकार करेगी या सिर्फ डेवलप वर्ल्ड्स, डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज को. जब आपका मिलेनियम डेवलपमेंट गोल बनाया गया 2000 में, तो OECD कंट्रीज का क्या कहना था कि हम गरीब देशों को कुछ कुछ एड में देते जाएंगे, और वो एड और प्रोग्राम UN के जितने हैं उसके तहत हम इनको we will try to see that they get some money in these various programs. So वो जो उनके 8 पैरामीटर्स थे, उस 8 पैरामीटर्स में वो थोड़ा थोड़ा मनी हमें देते रहेंगे और हम डेवलप करते रहेंगे. Whereas what happened to Sustainable Development Goals? Sustainable Development Goals said it is not a fight between the haves and the have-not. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि हम कटोरा लेकर खड़े हो जाएं अमीर देशों के पास और बार बार कहें कि आप हमें पैसे दीजिए. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. The countries should be made self-sufficient. The third world countries should grow, and this can happen only when the society as a whole works towards the sustainable development goals. So it gave a whole lot of emphasis to the civil society groups or organizations. The civil organizations of the society were brought into the fold. The private sector, along with their corporate social responsibility, was fixed an agenda that they should work towards sustainable development goals. अब इंडिया में sustainable development goals have been defined. ये 17 गोल के ऊपर काम किया जा रहा है. इनफैक्ट नीति आयोग ने, and नीति आयोग is the person which the organization which oversees the entire SDG indices and the parameters. और नीति आयोग ने अभी 2018 में एक रिपोर्ट सबमिट करी है कि what is the condition of our country on the various 17 SDG goals and the parameters that have been brought to the forefront. अब इसके साथ साथ when we talk about the coronavirus which has made its appearance in the year 2020, it is said that India alone, and the report talks about the world, but I will right now talk about only India. India alone needs $2.64 trillion. It needs $2.64 trillion to implement SDG by 2030. अगर हम 2030 तक 2030 तक SDG goals implement करना चाहते हैं तो हमें रिक्वायरमेंट है $2.64 trillion की. और इसी के साथ साथ if you look at it, we will need 6.2% of our GDP annually. अब GDP 6.2 से कम होगा तो क्या 6.2% का GDP हम ले पाएंगे? But anyways, we are going to need 6.2% of our GDP annually to fulfill our goals of sustainable development by 2030. So $2.64 trillion to complete our goals by 2030, and annually 6.2% of our GDP to be able to do this. इसी के साथ साथ जब हमने 2015 में SDG गोल सेट करे थे, तब उस समय we had decided. So now what I'm trying to tell you कि 2012 में when we met in Rio again, we subsequently met in 2015 in New York also, and from then a continuum has been set. 17 SDG goals, 5 parameters which are called the 5 P's: participation from civil organizations, private parties. Along with that, it said that the UN should be enabled to fund some of these projects. तो इसके लिए एक और एजेंडा हुआ which is called the Adidis. ये कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई थी Adidis Ababa Action Agenda. This is the name of the place. Adidis Ababa Action Agenda. This took place in 2015, where they have spoken of the various means by which the UN will be funding the programs of the Sustainable Development Goals. So all of them are like global. We have something which is called the food program. तो वर्ल्ड, आपको पता है कि वर्ल्ड फूड प्रोग्राम को 2020 में UN का पीस अवार्ड मिला है. इसलिए फॉर मी इन माई माइंड the global hunger index becomes very important. So we will do something about the global hunger index for people who are taking the prelims, and for others in general. You should know that India is at a pathetic place of 94 in terms of global hunger index. In fact, it is only above Afghanistan, where the Taliban are creating havoc. And while we have peace in our country, we have the highest wasting rate for children below the age of 5. And there are 3 parameters according to which the global hunger index has been made. We will go through those parameters. Maybe in not today's class, maybe in tomorrow's class if I'm not able to do it. But if I'm able to do it, I'll finish it. मैं पहले सोच रही थी अपनी report 2021 भी खत्म करूँगी, because I think that will just wrap up the class for today. So coming back to here, it said that Addis Ababa में they decided that they are going to fund the SDG goals. So now I'm not going to repeat, but going to tell you 1972, 1987, 1992, 2000, 2002, 2012, 2015. We have come this far and we have reached the SDG goals. Now we need to, I'll talk about green economy tomorrow, because I wanted to do the report which has been released by Jeffrey Sachs in 2021 on the SDR, which is your Sustainable Development Goals. This Sustainable Development Report, which is released in 2021, is for the first time covers 193 countries who have come together and decided that we need to achieve these goals by 2030. This is the 6th report which has come in. It has dashboards. इसमें जो 17 पैरामीटर्स हैं, उसमें 0 मतलब नील होता है and 100 मतलब हाईएस्ट होता है. अब इस सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट 2021 की हाइलाइट्स क्या है? I want to tell you those highlights before the end of the class. It's going to take about 7 minutes. Please stay with me. Okay. So what are we going to say? That the SDR report of 2021, which has been released by Jeffrey Sachs. Jeffrey Sachs कहते हैं कि जो हमारे 17 पैरामीटर्स हैं SDGs के, वो क्या क्या हैं? वो कहते हैं कि फिनलैंड is at the top of the SDG. Finland is at the top of the SDG with 85.90. Please read this as 85. 85.90 points. Not percent, it's points. Finland is the first country in terms of sustainable development goals. It's the first country in terms of sustainable development goals, and 3 Nordic countries are in the top 20. The Nordic countries are your Finland, Denmark, Sweden. All these countries are your Nordic countries. और बहुत छोटे छोटे हैं यूरोपियन कंट्रीज ये सारे. ये नॉर्डिक रेस जो होती है इसकी वजह से इन्हें नॉर्डिक कंट्रीज कहा जाता है. सो यू हैव फिनलैंड, स्वीडन, डेनमार्क. सो फिनलैंड इज 1. द प्रीलिम किड्स प्लीज पे अटेंशन टू दिस, क्योंकि आपको इसमें यही पूछा जाएगा कि ऑर्डर क्या है, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स क्या है, कौन सा 1 है, कौन सा 2 है, वो पूछा जा सकता है. Then what is India's position in terms of sustainable development goal? इतना आपको जानने की जरूरत है. तो first is your Finland, second is your Sweden and Denmark. So they are 3 Nordic countries which are in the top 20 of the SDGs. फिर बाकी सारी 20 countries जो हैं वो Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, which are called the OECD countries, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. The OECD countries are then the participants in the top 20. So you have Finland, Sweden, Denmark, and the OECD countries, which are economically rich countries, which are a part of the top 20 insofar as the social development goals are concerned. अब इसके साथ साथ इनके observations क्या क्या है. First, East and South Asia, जिसके हम भी हिस्सेदार हैं, means इंडिया भी हिस्सेदार है, उसने प्रोग्रेस किया है more than other regions since 2015, especially in terms of poverty, which is SD1, and quality of education, which is SD4. So pehle I need to tell you what are the SDGs, because if I don't tell you the SDGs, you will not be able to answer this. So we are going fatafat into the SDGs, which is your आपके SDG रिपोर्ट में मैंने पहले आपको बता दिया, टॉप में फिनलैंड है विथ 85.90 पॉइंट्स, और उसके बाद आपका स्वीडन, डेनमार्क आता है. स्वीडन, डेनमार्क के बाद सारी आपकी OECD कंट्रीज आती हैं. देन व्हाट आर दी 17 पैरामीटर्स ऑफ द SDG. आपके फर्स्ट पैरामीटर है आपका पॉवर्टी, to eradicate poverty. Second है आपका education. Third है gender equality. So you see that it is just a follow-up of what was in the Millennium Agenda, but they have gone into details for it. There is gender equality. Then there is child mortality. Then there is improved maternal health. Then there is combat diseases. आप ये अभी SDG के जो पॉइंट्स हैं इसको फिर से लिखिएगा, क्योंकि उन्होंने I want to repeat it for you. First is no poverty. Second is your zero hunger. Actually ये मिस हो गया पॉइंट, इसलिए मैंने आपको फिर से लिखवाया है. First is no poverty. Second is zero hunger. Third is your good health and well-being. Good health and well-being. All students have to write it in this order, because this is the order in which the report has been made. So they will say SD1, SD2, SD13. SD13 is climate change. So जिस ऑर्डर में हम लिख रहे हैं आपको उसी ऑर्डर में लिखना पड़ेगा. आप जहाँ भी पढ़ेंगे तो भी इसी ऑर्डर में आप इसे पढ़ के याद कीजिएगा, because each one of them has been given a serial number. So good health and well-being. Fourth is your quality education. Quality education. Fifth is your gender equality. Gender equality. Sixth is clean water and sanitation. Clean water and sanitation. Seventh is affordable clean energy. Eighth is decent work. Industry and innovation. Tenth is reduction in inequality. Reduce inequality. 11th is sustainable cities. 12th is responsible consumption. Responsible consumption. Consumption. 13th is climate change. 14th is life below water, which means basically oceans. 15th is life on earth, which is your terrestrial. 16th is peace. And 17th is strengthen means of implementation. Means of implementation. Now please stay with me when I go through the points according to which the improvement which has taken place on these parameters. So what are they saying? They are saying that in SD, according to all these 17, Finland is one, then there is Sweden, then there is Denmark, then there are the OECD countries. उसके कहने के बाद वो ये कहते हैं कि जो हम हैं मतलब ईस्ट और साउथ एशिया उसने बहुत अच्छी प्रोग्रेस करी है 2015 से, स्पेशली कौन से एरिया में? लो पॉवर्टी विच इज योर SG1 एंड क्वालिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन विच इज योर SG4. Now you please be very clear about these areas. It is saying East and South Asia has done very well on parameters 1 and parameter 4. Then it says that East Europe and Central Asia have done very well in terms of parameter 1, which is no poverty, and SG4, which is quality education, and SG16 जो पीस है, ये जो पीस जस्टिस वाला एरिया है, ये इनके लिए थोड़ा सा नहीं ठीक है, इस वजह से इनको प्रॉब्लम हो रही है. अदरवाइज दे हैव डन वेरी वेल इन टर्म्स ऑफ SG1 and SG4. Like India and South Asia, they have done well in these parameters, but they have done well in terms of taking initiatives of peace. How far they are successful is a different story, but they have also taken certain peace initiatives and to bring about justice. This is what the report says. Then it says that Latin America and Caribbean, which is your South America, basically Brazil and all these countries, Venezuela, Brazil, Panama, ये कह रहे ये सारे देश जो हैं इन्होंने SG7 मतलब अफोर्डेबल क्लीन एनर्जी पर बहुत अच्छा काम किया है, बट इनका जो पहला और चौथा पैरामीटर है वो बहुत अच्छा नहीं है. अब मिडिल ईस्ट और नॉर्थ अफ्रीका के लिए वो क्या कह रहे हैं कि जो आपका SG2 है मतलब जीरो हंगर, SG3 है जो आपका गुड हेल्थ है, SG16 है, वो सब कुछ भी पॉसिबल नहीं हो पा रहा है. They are not doing well on any of these parameters. एंड सो दे से कि SG ग्लोबल एवरेज जो है बिकॉज ऑफ कोविड, सो दे हैव डिवाइडेड द होल वर्ल्ड इनटू ग्रुप्स. कह रहे हैं साउथ एशिया SG1 SG4 पे अच्छा कर रहा है, सेंट्रल एशिया बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है, एंड ईस्ट यूरोप SG1 SG4 पे कर रहा है और इनिशिएटिव्स ले रहा है टुवर्ड्स पीस, पर बहुत सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो पा रहा है. फिर दे कम टू योर कैरेबियन कंट्रीज, वो कह रहे हैं वो सिर्फ SG7 पे वर्क कर पा रहे हैं, बाकी सब में पीछे छूट गए हैं. एंड देन दे कम टू व्हाट इज कॉल्ड the African countries, particularly North Africa, and they come to the Middle East. और यहाँ कह रहे हैं कि इनका SG1 भी ख़राब है, इनका SG4 भी ख़राब है और SG16 तो बहुत ज़्यादा ख़राब है. फिर वो कह रहे हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द कोविड वायरस, एंड दे आर सेइंग बिकॉज ऑफ द कोरोना वायरस, the whole world's initiative towards sustainable development goal has got reduced, and the amount of money which is now needed according to the IMF, the financial gap or the financing gap for these SDG goals has increased. अब ये कितना बढ़ गया है? अब roughly हमें 14% of GDP चाहिए up to 2030 to be able to fulfill our goals. So the IMF estimates that incremental spending needs are now roughly 14% of GDP for each year up to 2030, and this is roughly 21% more than what was estimated in 2019. तो 2019 तक जो हमारी फंडिंग थी SDG की वो तो फीजिबल लग रही थी. 2020 से अब ऐसा है कि हमें 14% GDP, पूरे वर्ल्ड की 14% GDP हमें स्पेंड करनी पड़ेगी SDG पर to achieve these goals by 2030, and this is almost a 21% increase according to what the IMF says. And it says that what has now become the need of the hour is that we need digital technologies, we need a broadband connection. नहीं तो हम आपको पढ़ा नहीं सकते. ऐसी दुनिया में भी आप हेल्थ डिलीवरी सिस्टम्स के लिए भी आपको डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. So out of all those SDG goals, this now becomes of paramount importance that we are able to reach out to people through digital means so as to be able to solve their health issues. So health becomes of paramount importance. Then it says that the SDG1 जो no poverty वाला status था, उसमें अब now 120 million people, I repeat 120 million people are below the poverty line as on date. Then it says zero hunger and food insecurities have increased, and good health and well-being, that is SG3 की आप क्या बात करेंगे when there have been 3 million deaths due to coronavirus. 12 to 15 में थोड़ा सा गेन हुआ, so there are 3 million deaths, so we can say कि SG3 तो कभी जो हमने गेन किया सब लूज किया है. Then they are saying that 12 to 15 जिसमें आपका रिस्पॉन्सिबल कंजम्पशन है, क्लाइमेट चेंज है, लाइफ अंडर वाटर है विच इज़ योर ओशंस, लाइफ ऑन अर्थ है विच इज़ योर फॉरेस्ट एंड ट्रीज. ये थोड़ा सा जब तक में लॉकडाउन था तो बेनिफिट हुआ, बट एज सून एज द इकोनॉमी स्टार्टेड ओपनिंग अप these trends have reversed once and for all. Then it also postulates that the low income developing countries, and we are one of the LIDCs, are going to suffer the most because rich countries will be able to borrow because of the credits that they have, but because our credits are poor, मतलब हमारा जो capital है वो इतना कम है, इसलिए हमारी borrowing भी limited है. Now coming to India, on a scale of 165 countries, we are at 125. हमारी पोजीशन 120 है out of 165 in terms of the SDG goals. हम SDG 3 जिसको कहते हैं climate, SDG 13 which is your climate change के action के ऊपर we are saying that we are doing quite well. They are saying that SDG 6 which is your clean water and sanitation, उसमें भी हम थोड़ी सी आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. SDG 1 which is your poverty reduction, we have done quite a bit. SDG 3, do we need to talk about good health and well-being? But they are saying that we are doing okay on that. SDG 7, we are with affordable clean energy. तो हमारी जो ये 120 की स्टेटस है ये हम आउट ऑफ 165 कितने पॉइंट्स है मेरे? 60.1 है। ये हमारा 2021 है। ओके, एंड फॉर किड्स हु आर टेकिंग द एग्जाम, प्लीज नो दैट इन 2020 we were 61.9, so we were above in 2020 as compared to 2021. और तब हमारी पोजीशन क्या थी? तब हमारी पोजीशन थी 117। तो हम 117 से 120 पहुंच गए, 61.9 से 60.1 पर पहुंच गए। और अभी हम बहुत सारी चीज़ें कर रहे हैं, लाइक अटल मिशन, लाइक योर महात्मा गांधी नेशनल रूरल एम्प्लॉयमेंट प्रोग्राम. We are also doing urban transformation and heritage, but that we will all do tomorrow. I wanted to add for you कि जो हम लोग ने क्लास करी थी in the last class, when I had mentioned 39 World Heritage Sites, I had forgotten to mention your 40th site, or 40th site because it has been added at the behest of the government of India. I will not name the person, but you should know that because of an individual, this was in the list for World Heritage Site for listing since 2014, but it came into being on the 1st or the 2nd of August. It was included, and this site is called the Dholavira site, which is near a village in Kutch. Actually, ये located है Khadir Island पर, Khadir Island. It is called the Khadir Island. I will post the newspaper clipping from where I got it. I will post it there just to let you know that Dholavira village city is one of the World Heritage Sites because it's one of the 5 major cities of the Indus Valley civilization. By the inclusion of Dholavira, it becomes the first Indus Valley civilization which becomes a part of the World Heritage Site. It is said that it was included because it was so well maintained that there was no interference in the archaeological site which is to be found at Dholavira. तो Dholavira के outstanding features क्या हैं? पहले, it is made out of stones. It's made out of pure sandstone in fact. Bricks, burnt bricks बिल्कुल use नहीं हुए हैं. यहाँ water reservoir भी देखने को मिलता है. There is proper town planning. There is a lower town and there is an upper town. It is said that the stupas of the Buddhist tradition are to be have found their beginnings in the Dholavira site. तो यहाँ पे छोटे छोटे स्तूपास बनाए गए हैं जिसमें किसी की डेड बॉडी या बोन्स नहीं मिलते. लाइक मोहज्जदारों में इट वॉज द माउंड ऑफ द डेड. क्यों? वहाँ पे आपको डेड बॉडीज़ के बोन्स मिले, यहाँ पे आपको कोई डेड बॉडीज़ नहीं मिलती. बट जो माउंड्स बनाए गए या जो स्तूपास बनाए गए उसमें रेलिक्स हैं. It includes semi-precious stones and ornaments of the people perhaps who were past. तो ऐसा भिष्ट कहते हैं, the guy who's worked on it, he says that probably the history of stupa started with Dholavira. So Dholavira came into existence because it had a great trade relation with Mesopotamia. If you know Mesopotamia, Mesopotamia was again an ancient civilization which flourished at the time of Indus Valley civilization, and it was on the banks of the river Tigris and Euphrates. And Tigris and Euphrates modern day Iraq को मेसोपोटामिया माना जाता है. तो वहाँ पर ये civilization हुआ और कहते हैं कि ये civilization धोलावीरा का 1 or 2 century BC में आया and it stayed on for 1500 years and then it disappeared. कुछ लोग इसको aridity का reason देते हैं because पहले यहाँ पे sea होती थी. Run of Kutch has now become now a mud pan. मतलब it's now a desert, पर पहले यहाँ sea हुआ करती थी जो recede कर गई. Along with that, the Mesopotamian civilization also disappeared. तो कहते हैं इनके trade relations खत्म हो गए, इसलिए यहाँ के लोग गुजरात की तरफ आगे बढ़ गए, सुरेंद्र नगर की तरफ बढ़ गए, कुछ लोग वेस्टर्न घाट्स की तरफ बढ़ गए. इस वजह से धोलावीरा went into disuse. Now the person who found it in 1968 is called Jagatpati Joshi. He was an archaeologist. और जिसने इस पे काम किया है, जिसने सारी डिटेल्स निकाले हैं, वो है रविंद्र सिंह भिष्ट. And he has worked on this site from 1990 to 2005. I will post this in the group. You can read it for your reference. I want to apologize having missed mentioning this. Actually, I did till July 2021 और तब तक 39 sites हुई थी, and then the 40th site had appeared, and one of the students has mentioned in the comments also. For today's class, please put down in your comments what more you need. Tomorrow we are having a class at 10 o'clock, and we are meeting and taking the Millennium Report further of Sustainable Development Goals, and I want to do Global Hunger Index because that is important for you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.